What's up, guys? This is Tom Burkhardt from Car-Revs Daily in the 2017 Genesis G80 5.0 Ultimate. This is the rear-wheel drive Genesis V8. So top dog in the G80 range and sliding just above the V6 and the V6 all-wheel drive models. The Genesis V8 is amazing. It's super fast and very entertaining to drive. So we're out here on a pretty fun road where we can stretch the legs of this 5-liter Tao V8, which is making 429 horsepower and 383 foot-pounds of torque through an 8-speed automatic transmission. So our sprint to 60 is just 4.7 seconds, and we have a very performance optimized setup here with drive modes, of course, and the Sport being preferred for its firmness on the steering wheel and eagerness to find the right gear. This car is very speedy. We have the traction control off right now, but stability control is still on. Not trying to do anything too wild here. Really loving the rear drive balance of the car. It handles really well and seems to have performance credentials. Like these brakes, as you can feel, are just, you know, firm and very strong. Whereas the 20-inch alloys on Continental Sport contact tires feel like a very German approach to traction and the serious business of limousines. So we are technically a mid-size limo here with a big back seat, competing with the 5 Series Lexus GS, Mercedes E-Class, A6, Q50 to some extent, and many others. The top of the 3 Series range at the 340 is going to be a little quicker than the 4.7 seconds we have in the Genesis V8, but is much smaller and not nearly as much of a luxury car when you first get in. You know, at least in terms of width and a little bit of cabin luxury stuff. Where Genesis really brings it. I mean, these cars are terrific. They're really fun to drive in twisties like this, but just like rock stars on the highway. Where they, you know, you can really feel around a corner, thread the turn, but obviously, I mean, the car just cruises like dead ahead, silent, super smooth, very calm and relaxed. So this is, you know, a little bit of an unusual ask for the car, more than what a lot of buyers might do with it, but I think it's still important to show. If you're comparing this car versus, I mean, it almost has the power of the GSF, and certainly the thrust at all times whenever you could want it. Sounds pretty good too, as you can hear. Lots of thrust, and there's nothing like the V8 gurgle. You know, in one of these big limos, having a V8 just seems so nice and perfect. It seems like just the perfect match. So we do have paddle shifters, as you can see on the wheel, and extra responsive in Sport. It's still going to upshift for us, which is nice, but it does hold the gears for the most part. There's a guy fishing right here. I don't want to scare him. It's a nice little fall. But the paddle shift is nice. It doesn't do multi-gear flicks as well as like the 550 BMW, for example. But then again, you know, little does. I mean, that thing was pretty amazing in how good the paddles are. But the Genesis V8 is the fastest car that Hyundai has ever made, and it's not even Hyundai anymore. So that's the other thing we should touch on, is that Genesis is a full new sub-brand for 2017. No Hyundai badges anywhere on the car, and a premium experience with new boutique showrooms and what they call the Genesis Experience, which is a lot of upgraded stuff. You get so pretty. I mean, considering how good it rides, that's very mild floating there, but the suspension is still pretty cozy versus like the GSF, for example. This would be more handling wise, maybe like the GS 350. But the Genesis Experience is basically free maintenance, and for 3 years, free service, like free satellite service for 3 years, concierge service. You get Genesis connected services, so like your Wi-Fi and mobile updates. You get map updates for 3 years as well. That's sort of the the time frame is 3 years, 36,000 miles for like a huge list of Genesis Experience features and upgrades that come standard on the cars. The biggest one, of course, is going to be the free maintenance, which is a big deal, and will save you, I mean, $1,000 to $2,000 a year. So that's nothing to sneeze at. And the full Genesis branding and makeover is very nice too. G80 really rolls off the tongue, and you know, the Genesis winged badge in the front as well as the back is more consistent and looks really cool, and it's just more premium, and I think appealing to those types of clients. So huge V8 power, really big back seat, fantastic comfort and amenities, and generally was very pleasantly surprised on this fairly speedy drive. The traction control can still be a little intrusive, but overall we seem to be getting like really good grip from the back end of this Genesis V8. I'm really enjoying it, and I haven't even mentioned the best part yet. So G80 5.0 rear wheel drive has a sticker price of like $51,000, and as tested in its ultimate spec, we're just under 56 grand, which is amazing, which is 15 grand less than the Q70 Infinity with the big V8, which is awesome too, but you know, significantly more expensive, and a lot less than any of the Germans with the V8. So really competing sort of in a nice niche there, as always, with its extra roominess and width, but pricing in that sweet spot, and really doesn't rise much versus the V6s. The Genesis V6 rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive with a couple options can easily hit 50. So it's nice that there isn't like, you know, a really big jump in price to get to the V8. I think it's definitely worth it. I love the car, and hope you guys do too. It sounds terrific, and looks really posh and premium, and drives well as well. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next time. This is Tom Burke, car-revs.